Hello internet friends, my name is Bay. Welcome to my Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ journey. Close to the end we are now. This is our confrontation with Meteion, and our character is now all alone, and some familiar faces return, and then emotions happen, and then dungeon happens. So this is that. This is most of that. It's a lot. This is a lot, but here it is. Thank you for watching. Endwalker. Triple question mark present. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn stand ready for the finale. Are you ready? Then let us set forth for the reckoning. Having come this far, I know everyone's resolve is beyond doubt, so I will say only this. Within that dead sun swirls the emotions that Meteion has hoarded, the emotions of innumerable souls who strove for happiness but failed. As it was with the denizens of Ultima Thul that barred our way, it is not for us to rebuke and admonish. It was not by passing judgment on the tragic legacies of others that we arrived at this moment. Rather, it was by opening our hearts to their despair, by understanding and acknowledging their fates, while still refusing to share in them ourselves, to hold fast to hope, not in ignorance, but by choice. Should you struggle to do so, I am here to help, as you have all helped me. We will prevail, or everyone's going home today. Understood? Or let's put an end to the end. Everyone's going home today. Understood? Hey. Although somehow I still feel that's not going to happen. The dead ends. Problem is I can't bring the twins with me in this version. Because I'm healing. Just so you know, I won't try to keep you with I won't try to keep up with you in the coming battle. No, I mean to surpass you. If there's anyone who will need to keep up, it's Estinian. I'm not joking. Both Alphino and I have worked hard and come far. It's time we set our sights higher. So you'd better watch out, else you'll find yourself in my wake. I am returned thanks to you. We still have work to do if we are to make our promise a reality. Having you show me the sights in Ishgard, then regaling me your greatest adventures, then embarking on a new adventure together. For these things and more, I will fight. What? Could there possibly be an adventure greater than this one? Of course. As long as you desire it and dare to take the first step, there is absolutely no limit. For the moment of reckoning is finally upon us, I must say. When I pledged myself to your cause, never did I imagine that it would bring me to the very edge of existence. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. After casting aside vengeance and shedding title and duty, I found myself wanting for purpose. In journeying with you, there has been nary a dull moment. In the course of it all, I feel as though I have found a new place for myself, and a welcome opportunity to see how much the boy has grown. I owe you a debt, aye. But as you can guess, I have never preferred to express my gratitude through action rather than word. My lance is yours. Seems our arms and armor are in order. As for our personal effects, more importantly, or most importantly, we have each other. We'd only finish what we came here to do. Avert the end for Minfilia, for Reen, for all those who aspire to live. Excuse me, friend? Thus far we have encountered recreations of some few stars. Doubtless they account for but a fraction of the innumerable worlds for whose fall Meteion did bear witness. Roiling with torment, the dead sun is forsooth's oblivion's apotheosis. It shall be no small coup to breach this nexus of despair. And yet, as this vista doth prove, where there is hope, there is a way. So let us press forward together, as ere we have, and find our way onto victory. As Alphino says, everyone's resolve is beyond doubt. Yet ere we set forth, there is naught to which I must give voice. While you were in Elpis, I understand that people assumed you were a familiar. In contrast, those phantoms we encountered in the reincarnated Amarot regarded us as children. As people, albeit naive and immature, the discrepancy, I posit, is a reflection of the Creator's perspective. Having spent eons among sundered men, perhaps he came to acknowledge us, even if only subconsciously. With Emet-Selch gone, we may never learn the truth, but I will not suffer this and countless other mysteries to go unsolved. Our journey will not end this day.
Let's give it our all.
I stand ever ready.
Right then.
Let's give it our all.
This is fine. The dead ends.
So you are finally here, in this place between death and rebirth, where life knows no dawn. Come then. Follow me down into the darkest depths of despair.
The birds of Hermes. Let's go, friends.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful blue star. That fell to pestilence and rotted inside and out. The more its people clung to life, the more they suffered.
This will hurt.
Why do you ask such a question? Do you not see the plague and pestilence that consumes us? Ours is a world of rancid blood and rotting flesh, where death is the only remedy to suffering. There's no meaning to be found in such misery. But it was not always thus. Beneath the waves, we knew only peace and plenty. We wanted for naught, and yet craved more, that our progeny might someday flourish as we never could. Eventually, we ventured to the lands above, bearing flame and iron, toppling any who dared oppose our might. The world was ours for the taking.
Allow me.
You underestimate me!
Until they curse not the illness, but their fellow corrupted.
Ugh.
Allow me.
I have you now.
Allow me.
Quite bleak.
Hold still.
First boss right there.
Hold still. Allow me.
sword stance, Graha. Go into sword stance, where you cast many swords. The world is not the boundless paradise we were promised. Our population quickly outstripped the habitable land, while seas we thought would shine forever blue ran dry, spoiled in forging the tools of conquest. Cramped homes turned to squalor, and then came the sickness. Our undoing, and the final blessings this star has to offer. We are no longer the fools we once were. Wheresoever life goes, death will follow. Indeed, existence is but the most painful path onto nothingness, and the wise embrace their obliteration wholeheartedly. That is a weird, postulant, blobby monkey thing.
Those who lived and festered. Those who died and decayed.
Oh, okay. The wind pushes them. Oh gosh, that does not mess around. Okay.
Something special for you.
Anyway, wind's from the other direction. Wrong button, but that's fine.
You're mine!
On guard.
Okay, yeah, so those debuffs during the wind phase do not mess around on this boss. Oh no! Alize! He did not move fast enough. You dork.
My thanks.
Get up, you goober. Aiming!
And the very last of them wished they had never been born at all.
So we go from this to a different star, I guess? Oh, geez. Vision of another world unfold before your eyes. Yep. I need a new necklace. Do you see the... oh, new earring. Sorry. And a ring, I guess.
In a faraway place, a brilliant star eradicated disease.
Good grief.
Before destroying the self-same lives it had saved.
Oh gosh. Ah, weird rock robot monsters. Ah. Ah. Let Alizé get knocked out. All right.
You underestimate me.
She stood in 2 telegraphs. I didn't expect her to. Could have rescued. You're totally, you know, I get what you're picking up. I'm picking up what you're putting down, whatever it is. But she was hard casting. She's a red mage, not a black mage. You could have just charged the boss real quick. Tisk, tisk, tisk. What the hell? That's that's part of brute justice? Maybe not. This might be just like a thing. Just to illustrate robot stuff here, but... Ouch. Excuse you.
Its people sought ever greater freedoms no matter the cost.
Okay. The otherworldly beings should first grace us with their presence as a sign. Indeed, they underestimate that we, the global community, are possessed of the wisdom and compassion needed to guide this star back to the path of righteousness. Yet the freedom fighters dare to undermine us, inviting chaos to disrupt the order we labored so hard to build. They have forgotten the history of this star and its once myriad nations, the wars waged, the countless lives lost. They must to be brought to heel. The world united under a single standard, no matter the cost. So, this world is a take on, like, the Empire in, like, Star Wars, for example. That an Empire controlled the whole planet, and there was rebel freedom fighters that wanted to free the planet from what they thought was this empirical rule, and in doing so, destroyed the planet. Instead of the romanticized version of that story is always that the rebels win and everything is nice and down with the Empire. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Earth? This is Earth? I don't know where these robots are that you see on Earth, but
They tried to buy peace with fire and steel.
Hold still.
It could be that. It could be if Garlemald succeeded. But what I'm trying to gather here, that if in that situation where Garlemald does succeed, if all the peoples just submitted and
You underestimate me.
let the Empire control everything, then it would have been fine, right? But because war has broken out and the freedom fighters, as you see we're fighting here, are trying to wrench control away from the Empire, that is what led to its destruction. That's what I picked up anyway. Oh, what about Cure 1? What about it? He didn't need a lot of healing. I probably didn't even need to cast it. If I did, it's just instinctive. More story, more aiming gear. We constructed the Peacekeeper, the pinnacle of engineering and technology. This mighty war machine was designed to rid us of the freedom fighters, as well as any other potential threats to the peace we have long so pined for. Its artificial intelligence ensures that its singular function is carried out with cold and calculated precision. Indeed, the 10,000 Peacekeeper units we have created have now routed every threat to peace, including us. All that remains is to stand and fight. Oh, maybe not. Also, Peacekeeper units make me think real, like X-Men vibes with Sentinels. Big angry red circle.
I have you now.
This will hurt.
Ooh. Ooh.
Hold still.
Estinian. It's rare to
Back to
see
the fray.
trust people go down, but I guess that's just part of it. Pardon? Pardon? It's quite the telegraph fest right now.
On guard.
You underestimate me.
I have you now.
Allow me.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Same thing, but from the inside out. Am I in Bosnia right now? Alize, I will move. I was quite the telegraph boss. Okay. Dang. Yeah, that kind of gives me big Sentinel vibes. The exact same thing of aiming.
And when one asked, what is the point? There were none left to answer.
Quite bleak. And the last one, the Plenty. Yo, it's Mercury before the Vex? What in the...
Farther still existed a star without strife. Where none remembered life's trials or its joys.
That was a weird big dragon thing.
You underestimate me!
You underestimate me!
Alize just said that. A curious traveler visited our star, a bird which proffered these questions. What meaning does life hold? For what do you strive? I could find no satisfactory answers, only bittersweet memories of an age long past. There was a time when we were lesser, and in our nations? Something like that. Yeah, nicence? It's like conscience, but not. Sought purpose. Struggled to justify life's worth. That was, of course, before we achieved perfection. Now, condemned to our paradise, we understand the fatuity, the fatuity of existence. Like the fledglings we once were, the poor bird could not accept the truth. It asked us again and again, hoping, perhaps, our answer might change. Oh boy, materia, but not the things that I could use right now. Doesn't matter. Oh. I'll have to run this dungeon a whole bunch anyway.
What its people had gained from ease, they lost to apathy.
Well, it's like a sphinx. Hmm.
You underestimate me!
Yes, Justinian. It would seem they do. That tree in the background is very impressive. Gives me a little Avatar vibes, though. That black, like, AoE roar thing changes, like, the whole tint of the screen.
You underestimate me.
There was a time when we yearned to explore the heavens, found purpose in the hope of unveiling life's mysteries. A dream shattered when we reached enlightenment and found it empty. There was a time when we believed in our legacy, thought ourselves marking a worthy path our successors might follow. Efforts rendered futile when we discovered the keys to paradise and immortality. As individuals, we struggled to know what was right, yet in today's perfect unity, there is naught left to question. We are infinity constructed by the finite, but no more. For Allah shall grant us the mercy of annihilation. Another dungeon with essentially what might be like a trials boss at the end. A lot of these have been like that. So they summoned a primal. Indeed. Yeah. All right, that's creepy. Don't smile at me, you creepy sphinx thing. Indeed. Interestingly enough, its wings, much like Meteions, are on its head.
So they created the kindest, most gentle of beasts. Its steps were light, and its gift was as painless as it was beautiful.
Ah! That's a cool mechanic.
Let's give them a show.
Bathed in its golden glow, they all slept happily ever after.
You underestimate me.
Oh, left wing explosion, I
You
assume.
underestimate me.
Quite.
I have you now.
That's the easiest pattern.
Let's give them a show.
Nothing!
Oh shit. Aha, okay. That was
Allow
cheeky.
me.
Saw that.
I have you now.
Oh, I summoned something above. Oh, it's just AoE instead. And prance again, fair enough. A little bit of a cheeky pattern there. Very cool. Very bleak. Very interesting. All 3 different biomes, just experiencing different stars of all the different ones that were accounted for earlier. I assume some of the ones from this experience are ones that were talked about. This is just witnessing them now. That might as well happen. Oh, sets the stage for... Yep. Mm-hmm. This is what that star actually looks like. Of countless stars. I'll take an orchestrion roll. Thanks you. Freak it! Casting! At least now we have an idea of what drives her. They attained paradise, and yet... Oh. Hello, Y'shtola. Yes, I need to proc your dialogue, if I could, please. Your trust dialogue. And yet it proved their unmaking. Not at all what I expected. A great dread, nigh beyond description, yet hangeth over. Graha, please, one at a time, one at a time. A calamity of disease or war, I can understand, but paradise? A calamity of paradise. Twins?
I am no stranger to despair. I would not be here if it weren't for you.
Twins? Oh. I shudder to think how many more worlds she watched fall. However deep the despair. Damn it. We cannot give up. Indeed.